Hi, my name is Richard Urban, and I'm an assistant professor at Florida State University, Florida's iSchool. I'd like to introduce you to a new project that I've just started called LODLAM Patterns that explores representation design patterns for cultural heritage resources. The universe of representation standards is incredibly diverse. Not only does it depend on the nature of the resources being described, but also the different goals and objectives of each community that uses them. It's something that's also not getting any simpler as new projects come along and define new kinds of entities that they wish to describe, or new objectives and goals for their representations. In the current environment, that has often meant picking the standard that seemed to fit our needs best and making sure that our records conform to that standard. Linked data represents an opportunity to rethink how we go about our work. Not only can we link different representations that conform to different standards together, but we can also start constructing new representations that borrow from different standards. These representations might better fit the needs of a particular domain or a particular community goal. For example, the British Library data model doesn't rely on any single standard, but has identified a number of different entities that they're concerned with representing. For each different entity, the appropriate linked data vocabularies have been selected. But this is a fairly complex model. How are we to understand what's the best way to go about representing a resource of this type, or how to relate resources of different types? Ultimately, a data model like this represents a set of design challenges. One approach to this problem is through the use of design patterns. Design patterns are optimal solutions to common problems situated within a particular context. They've been used for software engineering, and you might be familiar with resources like the Yahoo pattern library for user interfaces. But design patterns can also be applied to things like social interaction patterns or ontology development. They've proven to be a useful tool to help communities develop a shared vocabulary around which to have discussions about design solutions. This can also be particularly helpful for introducing newcomers to the concepts of a design problem. Lee Dodds and Ian Davis have already provided us a leg up on this problem for linked data by publishing a pattern library. For example, what's the relationship between a graph and a resource? Should a URI represent both the resource and its representation? These are good general patterns for linked data, but my question is, what are the specific patterns related to cultural heritage objects? At the 2013 LODLAM Summit, I'd like to begin a conversation about linked data patterns for cultural heritage. What patterns exist in current cultural heritage standards? What are the most important patterns? How do these patterns inform our design of linked data? What new patterns do we need? And how do cultural heritage patterns relate to more general linked data patterns? I'll be launching a website with initial comments and observations, but patterns are better observed through many eyes. I invite your participation in identifying and improving the linked data patterns that we identify. Together, we can work to finding ways of developing linked data patterns that will better represent cultural heritage resources. Thanks for your consideration. I look forward to seeing everyone in Montreal this summer.